Not at all. As long as we don't talk to each other.
That's right. Why don't you call me every day and find out what was going on?
Just answer your messages.
Send me an email, would you? I want it in writing.
Are you guys married?
How many times?
Start with one.
Okay.
Would you stop changing the schedule? I mean, how many times drafts do I have to name? 7, 8?
That's fun. Well, I have a bet with a couple people. See how many they can change before you get pissed.
Oh, boo.
That would have been probably about number 3. So, welcome to conflict resolution. We all have it, right? In one form or another, whether it's within the chapter, within the post, within our personal lives, right? So let's talk about it. Let's look at some solutions, how it occurs, and we will want to hear from you in the audience a little later, and tell us your problem. Because we're Dear Abby. Or not.
Oh, boy.
Where's that clicker?
Right there, the brown and the black thing right there.
Wow.
So, does this look familiar?
Every meeting.
Usually a drink in the hand.
I like the one at the bottom of the eye holding out. So what is conflict resolution? The process of resolving disagreements and coming up with solutions that are mutually agreeable to multiple parties. It can be formal, informal, where 2 or more parties can find a peaceful solution to their dispute.
Roll the ball.
All right, good. So, conflict resolution within the ALR is a skill that determines whether a chapter thrives, whether relationships deepen, and events stay on track. That's pretty hard sometimes, isn't it? I see some bobbleheads out there.
Why is that? Personalities are involved, right? Right.
There you go. So what causes those conflicts?
Go ahead.
A lack of a common understanding. Feeling like you're not being heard. So do we have hurt feelings sometimes?
We got reports for that.
Poor communication skills, where we really let the emotions take over. That never happens either, does it? I think that's probably a lot right there, because we do feel we're unheard, we're not valued, so now I'm just going to get mad, I'm not going to get upset, and we're going to have some kind of conflict. Conversation shifts from the problem to the person. What do you say about that one, Jim?
Speechless.
Now we're no longer talking about the problem, right? We're talking about you. You never listen. You don't get involved. So what is it that you're going to say when you never even participate? So now we're getting personal, right? It's unclear or unfair expectations. Power plays, manipulations. Don't you know who I am?
Oh.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'm the boss. My way or the highway,
Yes,
right?
yes, right.
Damn it, Wayne.
Oh.
He can't, no, he.
Different leadership styles. Some are so strict about this, you can't even vary from it. You can't even listen to somebody else's idea because it's going to be my way or the highway. Resistance to change. As we all get older, we kind of fit into that mold. We don't like change. Differences in personalities. We're all made different. But we have to find that common ground so we can accomplish what we set out for. And just the working style as well. I'm going to hand it over to you, Jim.
Oh, no. What
Yeah,
am I
well,
supposed
I
to
can do
say?
that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
See, this is always what happens between us. There's conflict. Jeez.
There's no conflict, it's good.
Oh.
Must be his leadership style.
That's how it starts, right?
So let's find a peaceful solution to the disagreements. Stay calm. Take a minute. Breathe. Count to 10. Count to 50. Whatever it takes. Don't lose your cool. Don't respond so quickly. I'm a little guilty of that, wouldn't you say?
How many got it? You lost that fight again?
Focus on the issue, and again, not on the personalities. You know, we're trying to do something for the post, we're trying to do something for our charities. Let's not focus on the person again. Let's find that common ground. What are we trying to accomplish? Find a private, comfortable place to discuss the conflict. Let's not do it out in front of everybody. If the tensions are rising and you're in a meeting, just stop and just say, let's take this out of the meeting, let's discuss it later. You don't want everybody involved, because all of a sudden you're going to have all the people that's in the room and they're going to give their 2 cents worth, and it's talking, and you're not going to get anything accomplished, and everyone's going to walk away upset or mad. Acknowledge what the problem is. What is the problem? Sometimes we don't even know what we're arguing about. That even happens at home, doesn't it? You want to agree to find that solution. How are we going to resolve this problem? That's what you really want to walk away with, is how we're going to solve this problem. And work to understand the perspective of everyone involved. Everyone has a say. Let's listen to what they have to say. Don't shoot it down immediately. Listen to them. Don't interrupt them, because they may not even be finished with their thought process to be able to articulate what it is that they're trying to tell you. Not everybody's communication style is the same, right? We would agree upon that?
Yes.
So what are some of the next steps? Schedule a meeting. If that's what it takes, it can't be resolved right then and there. Again, let's take it aside. Let's set a time, a place where we can talk about this and resolve it. Set the ground rules. Let's respect one another. I mean, we are all adults, although sometimes we act like we're back in junior high. We're not. Look at the color of our hair, it's kind of gray. We should be past that by this time. Describe what the conflict is. Everybody may have a different concept of what the problem really is. So let's put it all out there on the table. Restate it for understanding. Exercise it, active listening. We probably, all of us have been to some kind of seminar through our lifetime or our professional lives where we talk about active listening. You don't always have something to say that's productive, so just listen. Brainstorm. What can we do? Let's collaborate. Let's talk about it. How can we find the solution to this problem? Amiably. Work out the unworkable options. Eliminate anything that really doesn't have to do anything with it. We really got a beef with this person. That's really not the issue here. Got to put that aside. Agree on next steps, and then close with a positive note. Hugs, handshakes, whatever it takes. Because 3 months from now, next week, we may not even remember what we were arguing about. Here's some of the common mistakes that makes fuel on the fire just enormous, right?
That is correct.
I want to win. I want to win. It was my argument. It was my project. It was my thoughts to start this whole thing. I want to win. It's going to be my way. You're going to lose. You're going to lose in the end. to be lost, perhaps. You don't want that either. Don't bring up the past. Well, the last time we tried to do this, this is what happened. Well, that's come and gone. Can't change it. Don't assume. We all know what assume means. Right? Makes an ass out of you and me. Don't practice that one. Avoid conversations until resentment builds up. So this has been boiling. It's just really eating me alive, and now I'm just going to blast you. You're not going to get anywhere with that. And then don't use those absolutes. Well, you never participated. I always have to do everything, Jim. Don't you do anything?
Yeah, I just give up.
I don't know if he gives up or not.
Yeah, sure.
Let's remember what the code of conduct really is. Okay?
You wonder others before they do it to you.
I don't think that's the way that goes, Jim.
I just want to make sure.
Do unto others as you would have them to do it.
Oh, that's the issue.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. You're looking forward there. You know, love your brothers and sisters. We are family. I mean, I would hate to have had a conflict with somebody. Now, we're all riders. We know how dangerous it is out there to ride. I had a conflict with somebody. It was over something so petty. And then we find out the next week we've lost him in an accident. Now that's going to weigh heavy on my heart. That I let all of my personality, my built-up resentment, let it get in the way of my friendship with my brothers and sisters. Because it's something so silly.
Bless you.
Bless you. So let's remember that. We are family. We can resolve anything if we want to, and if we try hard enough. Right? We're going to open it up to the floor. I know we've got some conflicts out there. We're going to need to get some things off our chest.
We just solved it.
Did we solve everything?
Did you listen to it?
I don't know.
No, probably
I
not.
don't know.
I just want to eat.
Now, as we all know, sometimes there's conflicts between the leadership and the post, right? And the riders. How do you solve it?
Come on now.
Communicate.
Communicate, right? Okay. But everybody's pretty mad, right?
Become the commander.
Hey, bikers, rock people. You know, I can remember when I was first riding for our post, and the commander at that time, I don't want riders in the post. Okay? I don't want to turn us into a biker bar. Went on and on about that. So one day we finished the ride, went back to the post, we all had our vests on, sitting at the bar. They said, I told you, I don't want riders here. I turned around and take your vests off. Now who are they? They're your members. So what difference does it make? We're here to support you. We have a mission. There's 4 missions we have. So we're here to support you. Why don't you support us? Why don't you understand why we're here? Why don't you understand why the general membership decided that they wanted riders? We've got to work together. It ain't work. We can fight. We can argue and stuff. We're going to this, you, we play one up, back and forth, back and forth. Doesn't solve the problem. We're not supporting the post. We're not supporting our mission. We're not out there trying to help with charities, raise money, exposure, to help get more membership. And don't do it that way. It just caused all kinds of problems. In the last 8 years, at how many times I've had phone calls of people that, you know, oh, this is wrong. Commanders, directors, don't make any difference. Sometimes I tell the people, think of what you're saying. Now, what's the easiest way, right? You guys got personality issues. Well, if you want to do a different post, join another chapter. See ya, you know? Is it worth the fight? Well, yeah, but this is our post, and yeah, we're going to stay here, and then you keep on fighting. That's what you're going to do. Up to you how you want to resolve that. You sit down, with the powers to be and say, hey, what if, how can we work together to make this work? Sometimes personalities are such, or there's too many things said, that you're not gonna mend it. And so then that's the part where you just say, well, okay, guys, we go over to the next post, go in that chapter over there, whatever, and you leave. And pretty soon, that commander or that power, the leadership of that post is going, what do we do? And how many times have they gotten the right back in there again? So it's a process, and then how hard do you want to fight? How miserable do you want to get? I'm not saying to give up. I'm not saying that at all, because they voted, general membership voted you in. The general membership wanted you there. So it's all how you want to resolve the problem. Want to wait till the next election and see if maybe the next person you can get along with. If the first vice is there, you get along with them. If not, it's a decision that you got to make. But fighting and arguing isn't the solution. It's about people getting along with each other. Now that sounds awful simple. And then how many times have we had issues with people that call up and the commander says they're all a bunch of black people and stuff. They're terrible people, and I hate them. I want them out of here. Get a vote. Take them out. Of course, that sounds probably pretty funny from the chairman of the writers to say that, but sometimes that's when the minds cool off. They get together and they say, well, we want to do it. And if you're looking for an apology from people back and forth, sometimes you're not going to get that. Sometimes you're just going to go in and it's going to continue on. But it's getting that link, that communication link, and the understanding of each person's position. We're writers. We're a program, right, of the post. We're voted in by the general membership, which we're part of that, So there was a thought to have them, and have writers in the beginning. What happened to them? Who did what? If there's issues within a writer group, handle it according to the constitutional bylaws of that post. You don't administer discipline. You don't do that. However your constitutional bylaw is set up, to give it to your e-board or whatever to handle the issue. Only issue you have when you're out there writing, if somebody's unsafe, you can take care of that. But if there's some constant disturbance within your writer group, that's how you handle it. So it's really up to people. It's just, can you get along with people? It's all up to that. And at that, how many questions do we have? Okay, bye. Nothing?
What would you do if you're in a post and the director is living in the past and brings up old crap from, like, say, November and deals with it in February? I figured it was done, dusted, and done. Then you could build a bridge and get over it, but that's just my opinion, but I was in the middle of the fight.
If that person doesn't have an audience, what I'm saying, if there's no audience, leave it talk to them. If you, well, what I'm saying is that if they keep on bringing that up, then there's no audience, nobody there, that person or individual to talk to or relate to.
What happened though?
What's he gonna do? What's that person gonna do?
I just turned around and told him, I said, look, I'm over the age of 61. I am an adult. I can make my own decisions. Y'all don't need to take care of me and tell me what I need to do.
What?
I know what I've got to do. And I turned around and said, this discussion is over with. I've got to go back to work, and I left the meeting.
What happened after that?
I had no idea. I was
So what happened in the next meeting? What happened to that? To go away?
I don't know. I think it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What it is, but I'm a person that if you're having a conflict with me, you need to come to me and not bring up the entire damn board of directors and all that other stuff.
That's what that said, right? And take it one-on-one.
Yeah, because otherwise, why do you want the post to know your business? You know what I'm saying? You need to just kind of keep it in-house administrators that are around you, because then reports have to be made. And then it goes up the higher ranks, and it makes our unit look bad. So try to handle it in-house.
Right.
Agreed. That was one of the things, don't bring up the past. If it's already settled, it can't be changed, why keep bringing it up? Digging up dead bones.
Speaking of change, do you change the SOP?
Yes, just kidding.
You know me.
You asked a question, I answered. You were looking at me. That's what he said.
Oh, he doesn't know anything.
Hey, stop talking about me like that.
Yeah,
Take it outside.
yeah. Get a video of that.
So Jim mentioned about your post not accepting you as a chapter. From my own experience, what we did as a new chapter back in for 233 is that we had our legionnaires that were members of our chapter join the executive board, run for adjutant, run for commander, and be very involved. So we had a voice in those post meetings. Another thing is the importance of doing those monthly reports of all that you as a chapter are doing to benefit your community, veterans and military, and submitting those to your post meetings so they can be read either by you as chapter director or your representative, so your post family knows exactly what we do and the difference that we make. And that is how we build collaboration, community, connection with our whole family.
And that should be in all the groups.
Like I'm sure you heard from this gentleman right here, that financial obligation to report that to the post. Did you tell him?
No.
Okay, well.
Okay.
We'll get her an SU.
And what Bob said, that should be the thing with all of our entities. You know, again, we're family. We're not separated by, I'm a legionnaire and I'm an auxiliary and I'm a son. We're family. We're there to achieve one goal, and that's to support our veterans the best way that we know how, whether it's financial, whether it's just being there for moral support. You got to be there for each other and not let your own emotions fly away in a meeting that it doesn't really matter. We don't want to live with the stress and the conflict constantly in our being, because that makes us a miserable person, and that's not who we are.
We are supposed to have fun doing this, right? It's
Absolutely.
written somewhere.
I saw it last night. I saw it last night. A lot of fun. Oh, fishnets.
Here we go. I just took the leadership class, and one thing we discussed and that I learned and I'm trying to learn is we don't always get along. We don't have to get along.
What?
Well, we don't get along.
No. Okay, we'll leave that.
Got that. But what I'm getting at is sometimes you got to understand who your strong people are and just support them and let the other stuff go. And if you let it go and you don't bring it in the door, I don't care what you talk about outside the post, it comes a better post. I got a lot of 9 people in here, and we don't always get along. I mean, we have problems, but it's okay. It's okay to disagree. You don't always have to get along, but you need to think about the family first. We are a family. We're a legion. We're a riders group. We're auxiliary. We're sons. And I'm 3 of those 4.
And jeepers.
Yeah, okay. And it took me a long, you can ask her, it took me a long time to accept the Jeepers. I just had it was in my head. I'm like, we're a riders group, and we're a legion. I didn't get it. We do support them. And not only do we support them, they support us.
Amen.
We always want to make everybody feel welcome. We're a fortunate post. We're an open post to the public. I see people in there every day I may never see again. And we need to support everybody. There's a reason people come to the Legion. There's a reason people stay at the Legion. And every goal we have should give them a sheet to sign into the Legion. Join. Remember what we're about. I came in, ask her, I came in for cheap beer. That was it. 3 years later, I think I volunteered more than I work. But, and that's not a lie. But love each other, get along. I mean, you know, we're all family. So Christine's hitting me to tell me to keep it short.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'll give it.
Aw.
She's tugging at his pant leg.
All right, I'm Bruce Rutherford from Post 45. And some of the problems that you have pointed out between post commanders and riders, there's a real simple solution where you're not arguing your point. You get your opponent to argue your point. And you're all looking at me like, what the hell is he talking about? There's a technique that officers are taught called verbal judo. Everything that we have is in writing. The purpose of the Legion is in writing. The purpose of the riders is in writing. You get the post commander or the executive board, that's whatever's arguing with you, to go ahead and look at that in depth, because every one of you has been in the military, well, or associated with the military, and you know that there's all sorts of things you're supposed to read and know, and as you go along, you sort of forget some of those details. So by reminding them, having them remind themselves by reading the purpose of the Legion, the purpose of the riders, the fact that the riders are part of the Legion. And one thing that I heard earlier in the summit, we're walking billboards. How many of your members are actively every day showing something about the Legion? We're riding our bikes. We got our patches on. And last night, one of the workers here didn't know anything about the Legion, didn't even know we existed. And because of a rider with a patch on, he goes, what is this all about? Now we have a potential member.
Amen. Good job.
And your behavior, I have not heard of a post that had a negative impact in the community by its riders. And in Putnam County, the Legion has received declaration by the mayor of Palatka for what we do. And a lot of the members of the post are riders. And the reason everybody knows we're doing the work is we're showing up with our patches. So use that when in the arguments against having a post with a riders group or a post that new commander wants to get rid of it. Use their own logic, their own rules, their own documentation to show that they're in the wrong. And they'll convince themselves versus you having to convince them.
Nice. Good.
Thank you.
What else we got out there? Well, last year was just firing at us. Maybe they've really resolved some of the conflicts.
It's in the afternoon.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, I know too that this class was so popular last year, and it was said by our incoming commander at the time to bring this to the bigger picture for the leadership, and it was. So they've heard just about the same thing here. They've been taught the same thing. So maybe that is really catching fire to resolve this conflict and not to constantly be involved in this type of situation. So thank you, Commander, for doing that.
I just have a question on, the commander kind of keeps offhanding, threatening that he can get rid of us, just the commander can do it. Is that right or wrong?
That's wrong.
Okay.
Membership.
The e-board or the membership?
The general membership.
But he keeps holding that kind of over us a little bit.
And you gotta remember, who voted to have a writers group? It was the general membership. So the general membership has to vote the writers out. And hopefully that commander,
He's actually fine now. I mean,
Oh, so you're bringing up the past.
Again, that's what he was just saying, you gotta prove what you're doing, you know? Let it go to those, general membership
And that
meetings.
starts it.
That's a conflict starter.
When I first became the director back in 1937, I ran into the same problem. Our commander told me if we butt heads, he would definitely win. And I had the same issue that you had over there with your commander. And I had to deal with him for 3 years. And every time we got into an issue, he kept reminding me the same thing, that he could dismantle us. So I had to deal with that also.
How about your officers? I mean, you know.
I got a question that affects a few posts in here, I believe. I come from a post that a lot of the writers, well, most of the writers, the director, the assistant, and a few other officers, left and joined an MC. You know about this. It has become a great distraction because, I mean, when you come into our post, it does look like a MC bar. I mean, you know, 6 or 7 guys up there with Florida State rockers. But my question is this, if they are openly recruiting from our writers group and openly discussing that their group is better because they're real writers and the writers were kind of, you know, blasé, they didn't like what they did. Of course, these guys never went to convention or to summit or conference or anything else. They just badmouthed the ALR and still are. So, is that up to the commander of the post, or because it's been brought before him and he's scared? A lot of members have come to me and asked me, is this your opposition? Because they don't like you. So, what's your resolution about this major conflict that's going on at our post? Because we're not real bikers and we got MC guys taking over our post.
No colors in the post. Period.
Leave their cut off. Don't have their cut on, is what they're saying.
Their colors.
Either colors. Yeah, yes, they can't go in your post with that on their back.
Really?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
It has to be in your post standing.
And you need to lit them up.
All right, I'm the Western Area Writers Chair, Chapter 1, and we have a very large MC culture in my district, and we have no problem with them. We have the Outlaws, we have them all. They come to our post. They're members of our post. They are all in different posts. They're veterans. How you handle that, or how we handle it, they have their rules. They have their rules within their bylaws. We have our rules within our bylaws. We respect their rules in their house. If we go to the clubhouse, they need to be respecting our house when they're in our house. Colors are not the issue. If they're actively recruiting and all that, they can talk all they want. but the shenanigans stop there. If they're there acting like veterans, they have every right to be in that post. As long as they're not breaking your rules, house rules. If they're not breaking house rules, then it's not a problem. If it becomes a problem, then it would be who, your riders director, to talk to their person of which, like I said, we have a great relationship with them all. But we can talk. If we don't like something, we bring it up to their leadership. Hey, look, our members don't like that, and if that needs to stop, and it'll stop. If not, you can always ask them to leave. It's your house.
You answer your question? No? One of the things I was involved in, I can't remember the name of their firemen, policemen.
The Blue Knights and the Red Knights.
Vima.
Yeah, anyway, they came to our post one time, about 40 of them. They went ahead and registered for a ride. They gave us a donation. So he said, sorry, we can't ride with you.
It's their rules.
That's their rule. Yeah, but we took the money. Imagine, you know. Then one time we went up because to reciprocate because they were having a celebration of life, and that we went up to ride with them, and we rode in the back. We treated them like and we decided we left. So because they didn't want us to ride with them, so there's something going through Tallahassee right now about that, and there will be that we addressed at the general session. We have the president of the auxiliary here, who's the legislative representative, that let us give a little update on where that legislation stands. Got one back here. It's not easy. People get uneasy. I know one post that they come in and they rent a space so they have a meeting.
Yes.
So, I mean, it all depends on, go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to run off the coattails of the allowing MCs and stuff like that into your post. Most of us in Florida knows, and I've discussed this with some of our district meetings, 30-year law enforcement veteran, just retired in January. But we know there's a new statute being proposed, or two of them in the Florida State House. Jessica Baker is one of the Jacksonville representatives for us. Sam Garrison, the Speaker of the House for the state of Florida. We have to be careful letting MCs associate with us. The reason being is they're looking to, and I would say they, but the representatives in law enforcement, because I did this for umpteen years, our cuts and colors are fine. We're not going to be associated with that. But the moment that we start associating with 1%ers, that makes us fall into those statutes. You can be documented. You can be, if you're arrested and if you've been photographed, documented like more than 3 times with these guys, you're subject to an enhanced penalty. So I would just caution that if you're letting these people into your clubhouse, you could be letting, you see officers in there that are just trying to follow these guys, and they're starting to document activities. If they're looking to use our place as a cover where they think they can be safe and not have law enforcement interfere with their activities, I would caution you, because the state don't want to mess with us. They support us. They love, veterans. They love retired first responders. They love our organization. But if you start letting, as they say, if you let the devil in, it's going to affect your club potentially. So I'm all right with being friends with anybody. If they treat me right, that's fine. But they don't need to, like we said, come into our house disrespecting, what we do. I would just caution, you might want to go with a rule about not having your cuts or colors in there. Somebody comes in there and you're photographed with them, anybody can photograph you. Next thing you know, you're on Facebook, Legion Riders, hanging out with, pagans or, outlaws or Hell's Angels. You are now a documented associate criminal gang member. So that can be an enhancement for potential penalties. So just be careful of that. The state don't want to mess with us. Law enforcement don't want to mess with us. But we shouldn't give them, fuel to look at us. So, that's what I would just want to say on that. So, Dennis Sullivan, Post 137.
Thank you. That's a good insight of what's coming down. So we'll just have to watch out for that. Oh, you again?
His time's up.
Dennis, you said everything I wanted to say, but it's HB 429, I believe. If you want to get online and look at it and understand it, and I'm sure you guys are going to handle it in the General Assembly, so HB 429.
Hi, Maxine Warner, 138. My question to Jim, to others, to whatever, we have a lot of people that are saying the commander of the post doesn't like the riders, the commander of the post threatens the riders. Can the riders, being a both program of Legion and made up of members from Legion, publicly state that they support a candidate for commander that's different, that might support them better? Like, hey, we as riders have worked with this person who's running for commander, and we have a better working relationship. I don't know how that works. Right, it would not be me, I'm auxiliary, but could, sorry, he'll volunteer, I promise. But have riders groups done that, have chapters done that and said, yeah, the chapter here supports this commander candidate over that commander? Yeah? Yeah, the general election, yeah. Right, because if my guy loses, then I look silly.
No.
Right, okay. I was just curious if it was a done or not done thing.
Never what our mission
A recommendation.
is. Yeah.
Well,
It's time to do that.
well,
We know where to go.
Wayne brought up a thing that was kind of about this.
That Wayne?
Yeah,
That Wayne?
that Wayne over there.
Your real husband?
Yeah, my real husband. It's like you really have to talk to me, really. Do you want me to say it, or do you want to say it?
either
Well, I'll let
way.
you speak.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cherish the moment, Wayne. Cherish the moment.
It doesn't happen often.
It won't happen at home.
And Don, this is to you and the gentleman next to you. How is it that if an MC comes in and they become a member of your post, and you know that that's what they are, how do they get into an elective office?
So they are not. They were veterans first. The majority of these MCs are veterans.
Yep.
That's how that all got started.
Absolutely.
But let me make one other clear. Not all MCs are 1%ers.
No, that's true.
That's a very, very small portion of that whole deal. And like the gentleman said about this, getting, criminals and all that crap, they can propose whatever the hell they want. But until it's voted in, they can't act upon it. And well, it'll be interesting if that does go anywhere. Because I do talk to all types of people in different places. Law enforcement also have MCs, and I talked to several about them. I'm like, what is this garbage? And they all laugh. They all laugh. I go, well, wait a minute now. If I'm sitting here getting a picture with you, am I going to be a criminal? Because they're an MC. That's what 1% is. You said it. It's 1%. They're not all 1%ers. A very small portion. Hells Angels, outlaws, pagans, those type of guys. And I'll guarantee you, not many of them are coming into an American Legion. But the guys like the Punishers, who are awful people, if you didn't know, Agent Reed, those type of folks. They're not 1%ers. Yes, they're MCs. They're MCs. So let's not get it twisted because they got an MC pass that they're just a bunch of gun running, drug smuggling, that. This isn't Sun's Bar and Anarchy. So before we get crazy to answer your question, Wayne, they are not members of the American Legion. They were, but again, once the American Legion, our rules say that we cannot be a part of or affiliate, or we can't be an MC and be a Legionnaire. Well, they have the same rules. They cannot belong to any other group. So, they are loyal to their group, just like we are loyal to our group. Again, like I said, we respect their house, they respect ours. But they're veterans. They are welcome in our veterans facility because they have that same ID card that I do.
Good conversation.
I think we just had a conflict.
Yeah.
But did we resolve it though? I think that was, yeah, we did. It was peaceful.
That's peaceful, no blood.
No. Anybody else got something?
Not after that.
So the final question is, do you let them into your clubhouse if they have on those patches?
Post decision.
That's a post rule.
Veteran.
That's a post rule.
It's not that whole.
It doesn't matter.
How many Legionnaires there were MCs? I mean, it's what you post.
Yeah.
Their chapter wants to do.
Yeah, because I think, Troy, I think 283 has a no colors rule at their home post.
Yeah.
So it's up to each post.
Then how do you police it?
It gets police. We've seen it in action. Yep. Yep.
Take your clothes off?
Yep.
Time of day on that?
Yep.
You're 70 meters?
Yep. Nope. As soon as you park.
Not again.
Oh. Fishnet.
There's a list in that bill of the clubs that are prohibited. So it's not every MC.
No.
You don't need
Okay.
to figure out, like you said, it's certain motorcycle gang clubs that are going
No,
out.
it's-
And it is not going to affect us, and we're going to be fine.
Okay.
And let's remember what our mission is.
I received, I'm practically
Hold on, we can't hear you.
I've heard, and I guess I need the mic, but nobody's concerned too awful much about HB 429 except for one part of it. That part is where they are loosening the number of contacts that you might inadvertently have with them. So they're going to say, if you're seen with them 1 or 2 times, not whatever the number was today, and if they blur that image, a police officer on the street is going to have a hard time differentiating, and that's really the objection to that, and that would be the one that I buy into, and it's understood that 1% versus MCs.
Okay.
I think we talked that to death.
I know.
Put the horse in the barn. No, not you.
Horse in the barn.
Close it up, put it in the stable.
Horse in the barn.
Well, I think we've had a good discussion. I hope some of these tips and the reasons why we have conflict goes with you. Again, this presentation is on the website. So if you ever come across that feeling of my pot is boiling over, go to the website, look at the reasons why, pick out the reason why, and then try to figure it out. How do we resolve this? Again, we're family. We don't want to harbor any hard feelings towards anybody.
Life is too short.
It happens in life. We all know that. But hopefully this will carry some tips and tricks to help resolve that. Agree?
Lunchtime.
Agreed?
Finally, he agrees with me.
Ain't gonna last long. Cherish the moment. Yeah, one or two little things that you get calls on and stuff. When we have the elections for officers, does the post have to accept
Yes,
Are working against us.
we're programmed.
Yeah. Do we have to accept
Yes,
the nomination?
yes.
They do not.
Why not? We're programmed.
That's right, we're programmed, but we're programmed in post.
Yep.
Can they remove the officers?
Yes, we're programmed.
Yeah. And, what's that?
With a vote.
Yeah. And what to clear that up? I think I can.
There was one example in our class, one of the classes I had.
What did they say?
Right, we didn't hear them. We didn't hear the answers.
Yes, they can.
They can remove our officers.
Well, yeah, that's the process, they have to vote, keyboard, whatever's in your constitutional bylaw.
One example we had in one of my classes was the road captain that had been elected was not up to par, really didn't know anything about being a road captain. Felt like it was really putting the group into danger when there was group riding. So how do we get rid of them? And again, can't discipline within our own chapter, so take it to the fact that if, first of all, is it a disciplinary action or is it dangerous to the group? So straight to the commander if it's a danger. Explain to them what's going on. And again, that person could be removed from that position because it's for the better of the group, right? So then, by the membership, they could appoint someone new, or you could have another election for that particular position.
There's only one election.
So that's sometimes your out, is to go to the commander and resolve that, especially if it's a danger to the group all the way around. Same thing if it's, a financial, you find somebody embezzling, you would do the same thing. Okay?
That's how you can get that private communication going too. And they say things, I hear people say, "Why, damn writers, they didn't do nothing," but you go talk to them, There should be an obligation by the SOB and its any rules that have reported to the post. Go talk to them, don't stand around and complain about it, fix it. That sounds easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Super glue, duct tape, whatever works, right?
Any other questions? Do we help? Confuse you?
Good job.
We'll see you all at the general meeting.